children. And so we wanted to do another list for Dad, but since he's shorter than Mom, we're only going to do 5. Okay, that's the only short joke. No, yeah, that's it. That's the only short joke he said. Okay, all right. Maybe.
So they only gave us a few minutes, right, to do this. We're gonna do our best to do it in a few minutes, but you're welcome to time us, which is what I used to do during my dad's sermon. His prayers. I would have a running clock, so I would keep an average or something about how long it was going to take.
And he would let him know after the service.
I would. But we really wanted to pay tribute to our dad. But as you sort of heard from a lot of the people speaking, and as Patty mentioned, they give you sort of the official perspective. But we wanted to give you some insight into some great accomplishments that's been a large part of his career and our life, which will come to no surprise that our dad, Nibs, loves to sing. Nibs, our dad, sang every chance he could during our childhood, despite our encouragement to stop. But if you've known him long enough, you've known and had the sort of good pleasure to have him bursting into song and dancing in presence. And so therefore, we're going to count down the top five Nibs greatest hits.
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead, Marcus. Advance the slide. Excellent. All right. So, top 5 Nibs greatest hits. Yes, you can stand up. Yes. All right. So this may seem silly, and it is. It's going to be a little silly. But singing together has been a foundational principle of Oakhurst's mission in coming together. And as I also want to say, our mother is the trained musician in the family, so I don't want to take away from your accomplishments as a singer and trained musician. Right, yeah. But learning and singing music, which they both really pushed in the congregation, in the mission, singing the music of diverse cultures and traditions continues to be a hallmark of Oakhurst's unique way of worshiping. And if you've ever gone to church anywhere else in the country, it is hard to find a kind of church that puts this kind of music, different kinds of music together. So as silly as it sometimes is, the ability for a pastor to write profound sermons, do serious work, and sing silly songs is an unusual gift.
So despite our teasing, right, about your singing in our childhood, we couldn't think of a better way to pay tribute to you and your work, and the person you are, and I'm sure as you've noticed, your granddaughters like to sing as well. So,
are they singing? Oh, just wait. All right, so in the spirit of the community and coming together, don't think that David and I are going to be up here singing by ourselves.
They go to Oakhurst, they know it's
Right,
participatory.
you will be participating with us. So just everybody warm up your voices. We're just saying, here we go.
Miss Price is already good.
Right, she's already warmed up. All right, yeah.
So we have the lyrics, Mark. There we go. And since he has the lyrics in front of him, it may be the first time that has actually gotten the correct words in the same order for a song. So what?
Are you supposed to do that?
It depends on the mood. So here we go. Let's do number 5. My dad, if you didn't know, I don't know if it's a secret, he's a huge Elvis fan. And so, not like a devoted fan, but the kind of Elvis fan who may have suggested several times as we drove from Atlanta to Helena, Arkansas, which is where his mother and our grandmother lived, that we swing by Graceland.
I went to Graceland. I just would like it.
But I think I always said no. So Dad used to sing this song around the house at random moments.
Go ahead,
and of course, he had a dance to this song.
All right, so we can't sing this song without doing the Nibs signature dance move.
It doesn't make sense.
So it doesn't make sense. So, and as you know, he's won multiple dance contests at his own birthday parties. So everyone, as we say at Oakhurst, please stand if you are able. And now we're going to learn how to do the Nibs.
Yeah. Can you do it?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we need that to go down.
Oh, no, I think we did that.
I think we did
All right. So what you do is you, I'll put that here, you be up there. You stick one leg out, and you just do this. Like
I want to say that one is if you're using 2 legs, you're not doing it right. some people are moving their hips too much. It's really all in the leg.
So if you would please join us in singing and dancing to the song. If you do not know the melody, you just do what Dad does and just make it up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean baby. Bebop-a-lula, she's my baby. Bebop-a-lula, I don't mean baby. What a profound song. Next, on our countdown, number 4, go ahead, Marcus, comes to us from the play, The Cotton Patch Gospel, by Atlanta's own Tom Key. Dad credits The Cotton Patch Gospel as being a seminal influence on both his preaching and his ministerial style. The music uses bluegrass and gospel music to retell the stories of the gospel in a really accessible way. So the song Turn It Around is a retelling of the Turn the Other Cheek parable, one of Jesus' most radical teachings, and as you know, one of the difficult subjects we have tackled at Oakhurst over the decades.
So if you remember these things called cassette tapes, Dad used to play it, used to stick it in our living room, used to put it on, and that was by far, as a family, that was our, well, I can't speak for Mom, that was our favorite song to dance to. It'll make sense in a second. I don't think we're allowed to recreate the dance here because it involved a lot of spinning around in circles and sticking our posteriors in the air. I'm sure there's a picture of that somewhere. There is. Okay, we'll have to find it. I'm glad it's not on the slideshow. But let's have a go with the song.
So
there
this
you
is
go.
the slightly
It's kind of
faster
a
song. It's like this.
fast.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around, surprise them a little, touch it in the ground. Pick it right side up, turn upside down. Now is the time to turn it around. All right. All right, we're gonna take it on the road. Here we go.
You can tell our favorite line of the song. Number 3 is, thanks Marcus, is probably going to be a surprise to many of you because it's from a musical, and we want to make one thing clear: Nibs does not like musicals.
He's gotten better over the years, like
A little. But he does like one musical in particular.
and that musical is West Side Story. The story behind that gives you another insight into the formation of somebody who was meant to provoke and to make people think about the world in another way. So when he was in high school, he and his buddies saw and loved West Side Story. You have to remember this is small town Arkansas and it was about gangs. And when they told their English teacher on Monday, she told them that it was an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. And when they scoffed at her and said that couldn't be true, she challenged them to prove her wrong by reading Romeo and Juliet. And being the tough guys that they were, like in West Side Story, they did read it and they realized that she was right. So not only did it solidify his love of that musical, but also of Shakespeare, and he also would go around quoting Romeo and Juliet around the house as well.
As the grandchildren will say, that's also passed down quoting plays.
Yes.
But Dad being Dad, whenever he busts out into his famous West Side Story song, which we're going to do in a minute, he never sings the correct name, but always whoever's in the room at the time.
All right, so Marcus, can you advance the slide? Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to sing the correct way one time. So we're going to sing it all together. Here we go. Maria, I just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. That was amazing.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Right, okay. So now, in the Nibs group fashion, and if you didn't know before, now you know it, you've got it. You're going to turn to somebody next to you. You're going to, if it's a stranger, if it's a loved one, you're going to turn to them. And you're going to sing the refrain of the song, changing Maria
Take out
to
Maria.
whoever it is, because this is literally what Dad do every time. And as we can attest, that David's daughter Emma says, is that song on the list? Because he used to do that to me all the time. All right, so here goes. So turn to your loved one, and you're going to sing to him. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, Maria, I just met a story. That's so much love.
number 2 comes from the Rolling Stones, and it's important to note that our dad is not really a fan of the Rolling Stones. Minus this one particular song, which he wouldn't usually sing to us, but he would speak.
Very sarcastically.
He complained about not having something that we really wanted, but was probably unnecessary.
So he would say, you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you might find you get what you need. So I did not really understand what the words to this really meant, and I was waffling about where to put this in the list. But now, as I'm much older, I get it, and I use it actually. I use this all the time with my students, so thanks, Dad. Dad has been great at understanding the difference between want and need. And he was reminding us, however sarcastically, and what he has worked his entire life to spread the news about was that what we need is not very complicated. It's what we desire, or as Dad would say, what we lust after, that causes us to treat each other so poorly and to see each other as less than human. We're thinking about what we want and not what we need. So Marcus, if you'll advance the slide. So let's go ahead and sing this all together, thinking about not just that it's a Rolling Stones song, but this idea that what we need might be different from what we actually want. So here we go. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need. Wonderful. All right, so we've made it to the number 1. Excellent. On the countdown of Nibs Group's top 5 greatest hits.
So all throughout our childhood, we made fun of and got embarrassed by our dad singing.
Definitely a joyful noise, although if we're being honest, he actually has a lovely singing voice.
Took us a couple of years to get right, but we're there. But as adults, right, so we are now getting a better sense of the power and unifying force that singing has on us. And why our dad has a song for literally every occasion of the day, not just to show off, but also to bring joy and probably sometimes embarrassment, was a unique gift to us, but also for the church community.
So our number 1 greatest hit comes to us from one of Dad's favorite singers, Bernice Johnson-Reagan, and Sweet Honey in the Rock. This made it to the number 1 slot for many reasons, but it certainly is a song that we need right now and moving forward.
So we give thanks to our dad, who is the kind of person who amplifies rather than silences the voices of women, folks of all races, people of all sexual orientations and identities, people at all education levels, economic levels, and is a challenger to young people to question the labels that the world gives them.
And as a teacher of songs, he understands that planting the seeds of songs, singing them over and over, whether you have asked for it or not, gives young people, and this is a real big gift, gives young people the soundtrack that they will need to do the work when they grow up. So despite the fact that he's retiring, he's definitely not resting anymore. His mom's retirement is any indication he's very busy. And we will continue to do this work as well, along with them, and take on the work that he is now retiring from. So please join us in singing the great words of Ella Baker from Ella Song. So Marcus, we got a couple of verses of this. We'll just keep going until we get to the end of it. Thank you. Here we go. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
didn't want to follow Stacey Abrams.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
There are some people who